What is up, everybody? It's your boy Rogue here. So, on today's video, I'm gonna be giving you guys my ban list predictions. As you guys already know, I did compete in North American Nationals, and I have a lot to say about the format. I've been playing in locals consistently since the format started. And yeah, I think I have a pretty good idea to know what needs to get banned. Before you guys get to the actual video, smash that like button. Let's get this video to 500 likes or 2 super thanks. That's always a video goal. And after the video, if you guys want to pick up any of these decks I'm going to talk about today or any of these cards, you can check out my links down below. I got different links for discount codes and also my TCG players pretty lit as well. The format that we're currently in right now, it's really good, but it's also really bad. What do I mean by that is? What I mean is essentially we have a format where we have a variety of decks, which is always a good thing. But then we also have the goofy stuff. The goofy stuff that makes me wonder sometimes, why do I still play this game? And I say that because it's just stuff that shouldn't exist because it's bad card design. So I'm just gonna shoot straight into my ban list with banned. Christian Hacklefacts. Reason why I want this card banned. All these Punk Therion decks, they have a right to exist. But this card specifically allows things like Scythe lock to be more consistent. On top of that, it's really easy to make. And we've had cards similar to this. Summon Sorcerers, for example, the old Link monster that just put a monster to the field for pretty much free. That all was previously banned. And we even had Verdi and Akane banned, but for whatever reason, Konami obliged to ban this card, which allowed a lot of goofiness to stay in the format, like consistent artifact Scythe combos, consistent this stuff that shouldn't exist. So by getting rid of Christian Hacklefacts, it's going to completely crap on a lot of those unfair combo decks. Now, yeah, there's a rogue deck that doesn't really use the Scythe but needs this card to function. However, with that being said, they should use more archetype specific stuff and or petition Konami, hopefully, to print stuff for their archetype. Like, I'm all for generic support, right? I'm all for generic legal cards. But what I'm not all for is, because no matter what, cards eventually are going to get become OP depending on the format. And every once in a while, that's why we have a ban list to take out the cards that's too OP, so that way we can have a healthy game. And I think with Christian Hacklefacts being around, it kind of makes the game a little unhealthy because we have to worry about all these extra goofy Scythe locks, shenanigans, and things like that. Coming after Christian Hacklefact, Artifact Scythe, banned. Now you guys might be thinking, Chris, if we ban Hacklefacts, can we keep Scythe? No, because both cards are problems. By keeping Scythe around, you promote a time period where in the future, or maybe even in the next couple of formats from now, it can always come back in rotation, depending on the deck, depending on Konami, whatever kind of cards Konami want to create, they can abuse this. Like, for example, Baron de la Flor, the Synchro monster, it contributed itself to bring back Scythe. That's one of the current ways that people are bringing back Scythe, amongst other things, right? So I think by just banning Scythe in general, we don't have to worry about that anymore. I mean, the artifact deck, no one cares about it. It's 2022. It's not 2014 when the cards first came out. I think it's been in the game for so long. Just take it out. It limits card design because Konami have to be careful to create cards that won't make it abusable. So if you got to do all that, you might as well just take it out of the game because the way the game is played right now, heavily extra deck related, and considering everyone needs their extra deck, it's better just to keep the card ban. So yeah, Scythe and Hulk ban, get rid of them. Also, Hulk is using decks like Dragon Link, etc. because they do all kind of goofy combos, but that's neither here or there. Mystic Mind ban. I think everybody in the community wants this card banned. I was calling it to get banned on every ban list prediction I did. However, everybody, oh, Mystic Mind's good. It's not being used in the format, bro. I'm like, bro. Just because a card is not being used in the current format does not mean it should stay. Like, the card literally was toxic in the OCG when it first came out. You even had certain card shops. I remember reading about this back in like 2019 that when Mystic Mind first came out, they immediately banned it because it promoted an unfair, unfun game site. And nothing sucks when you got game on board and you're beating your opponent. But your deck, for example, like me, I play heroes. We don't have an Omni negate. Your opponent top decks mine, plays the mine, If I don't have a Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer to pop the mine on activation, I'm SOL. And then they could just stall me out and either beat me by deck out or just stall me out and come back and win. I think that's completely stupid. No one likes reading articles or even going watching a YCS stream and watching somebody draw set pass because if you are not main decking back row removal that's in spell or trap form, you're gonna have a hard time for cards like mine. So yeah, everybody agreed with mine. Now this is a card people probably are not gonna agree with, but I don't care. I think this card that I'm gonna talk right now deserves to get banned due to it being abused in a very popular deck right now, and that's the Wind Barrier statue. Oh my god. Now before you guys click off the video and thumbs down, just hear me out for a second. Flunderies is a good deck, right? Flunderies work off a D-shifter. Flunderies, it does a lot, but it's also not that good in my opinion. I think it's a solid deck, but what really makes that deck unfair, because I'm cool with the deck using D-shifter, leave it at 3, they have to draw it. I'm cool with all that crap, but what I'm not cool with is cards that say I cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I feel the same way about the Wind statue that I feel about the Light, the Dark, and whatever other barrier statues they have. I know they got a bunch of them. And if decks come out that can abuse the other ones, ban those too. Reason being is because the card is easy to make in this Wind deck. And if they go first, they give a huge advantage to the Flunderies player by just telling your opponent they can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! So unless they're playing a Wind deck, like a Lyricist type of deck, I think some of the Lyricists are Winds or whatever, or it's the Flunderies Mirror Match, they're SOL. And I think that's BS because, like, literally, just one card is shutting your deck off shouldn't exist. And the fact that it's searchable, it's splashable, and easy to bring out on your opponent's turn due to the Flunderies deck being a thing, I think it's time to ban the Barrier statue. Now, like I said, I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me on this, but that's my opinion. If Flunderies got rid of Barrier statue, if it got banned, the deck could still be a solid deck. They still have plays to make. I mean, just I don't really like stuff that says you cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's boring. It sucks. It's very frustrating. That was nothing more annoying at Nationals. I think it was round 3, game 3 against the Flunderies player. Him popping, me bricking, him not even OTKing me, but because he had Barrier statue and I top deck a card I could use, if I don't draw a Droplet, I lose. Like, that shouldn't be a thing, honestly. I should be able to play. Next up, to 1. I got a bunch of stuff to 1. Right off from Yugioh, it hits the Brave token engine. That engine is dumb. It's abused in almost every top meta deck, like from Punk Therion builds to Dragon Link builds. The list can go on. And obviously, I don't think the Brave token engine is broken enough to just get outright banned everything. But like, a smack on the wrist, right of measure to 1, it really will focus the opponent on just not being able to come back, because what I've seen them do is just come back and just pop off, which I don't think should be a thing. So that's pretty much self-explanatory. I think a lot of people would agree on that. Quick launch to 1 and E-Teller to 1. Quick launch because Dragon Link is very consistent. I know if you hit Hulk and everything else I mentioned, it's going to be a little bit weaker. However, the deck's just good. Like, I feel like it's a quick play. If it wasn't a quick play, I wouldn't care. But the fact that it is a quick play is very important. Hit it to 1. I think mainly because Dragon Link is just a thing. If it was just specifically if it said lock you into dragons for the turn, just something goofy like that, I'll be a little more accepting of the card. However, since it doesn't lock you into anything specifically, it just says spit out monster, I think hitting it to 1 should be fair. Also, E-Telly, I mean, that's just because of the Therion Punk engine is a thing. E-Telly shouldn't have came back to 3 in my opinion. Like, it's just free pluses. You get a free summon that doesn't waste your normal summon, pay 500 and just pop off. Like, why? Like, yeah, I'm a hero player. Give us something like that. You feel me? So yeah, I think limiting both those cards to 1 or even 2, just to hit the consistency, I'll be satisfied with. Skill Drain to 1. This is a card that I think a lot of people would agree on that they haven't thought about. I haven't seen nobody talk about Skill Drain. And this goes back to how I felt about Mystic Mind last year. Just because it's not winning now don't mean it won't win later. Skill Drain has always been a boring card. Another card that says if I flip it, you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! I think pitting it to 1 is pretty cool, making it a luck sack card. Because there's nothing more frustrating. Like, literally, I was at Locals the other day, and I'm playing against Eldritch, and I literally lost to the fact that he flipped Skill Drain, he had Solemn Judgment set, and I didn't draw any backrow removal. And if I did draw the backrow removal, he had the Solemn Judgment. That's not even like player interaction. That's literally my opponent just sat 5, stalled me out because they had a freaking Skill Drain until he drew his Eldritch and won. Like, I think stuff like that really rubs people the wrong way. It definitely rubs me the wrong way because like it sucks the fun out of the game. And I'm almost about promoting fun. Like I believe one of the best formats, in my personal opinion, was the 2014 Hat format. And there was a lot of good decks back then. And while Skill Drain was around, it just you didn't have a deck like Eldritch that can abuse it as easily as you can now. I mean, there was a couple of decks, but those decks really weren't that good. I mean, so yeah, I think Skill Drain 1 should be a thing. It should never come back to 3, in my personal opinion. Like all the helmet players, oh, set 5, oh, let me just stall. There's like no skill in that card at all. That's why it's called Skill Drain. It sucks the skill out of everything, bro. And I had a couple cards to 2. Okay, one more to 1, and then I got one card to 2. Sword Soul Emergence to 1. You gotta hit the Sword Soul. The deck's really consistent. You don't want to hit everything else, and that just instantly becomes the best deck. I think hitting Emergence to 1 hit the consistency down a lot, and it'll really make them think about what they're gonna use their Emergence on. So that's just my theory with that. And I wanted to hit Branded on this banlist prediction. I don't think it's gonna get hit personally. And I know it got hit in the OCG. I'm calling for Branded Fusion down to 2. I say, why not? Fusion Destiny's down to 2. Why not put Branded Fusion down to 2? My thing is like this. Branded is a really good deck. There's different versions of it. And I was thinking Aliberta 1 at first. However, with that being said, I said, let them keep their consistency. I think just smack them on the wrist, hit Branded Fusion to 2. That 3 to 2 ratio matters a lot. Trust me, guys. You're going to open it a lot less. You're going to burn through it a lot quicker. I think by doing it this way, we could see if the deck still is going to be a top contender. If you follow everything else on my ban list prediction, like if everything else happens, Brandon has to be hit because it's going to be one of the top decks. I mean, we're going into supposedly a tier 0 format with splites. And I say supposedly because we can't base our results off the OCG. It's different players, different metas, different innovations. I'm always positive for Pro America or any Pro TCG in general, innovating something that can just maybe be better than what the OCG has thought about. And we do have some dope TCG exclusives that may be able to combat the splice stuff. But nevertheless, man, I think Branded Fusion 2, smack them on the list and call it a day. All right. So, with all that being said, guys, this is my banlist prediction video. If you guys have any thoughts and opinions about it, post that in the comment section down below. Konami didn't give us a date on when they're going to drop the ban list. So, if I was to take a wild guess, it'll probably be by next month sometimes. I mean, I figured we would get one probably right after Nationals. I'm thinking we might get one maybe when the next set release, or maybe a week into the set. All right, it's your boy Rogue Hero, and I'm signing out. Peace. See you guys in the next video.